Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tino Dwi Cahyani. I am a lecturer at the Law Faculty of Muhammadiyah University of Malang. On this occasion, I will present the result of my research, reconstruction of death penalty sanction for perpetrator of corruption in Law Number 31 of 1999 concerning eradication of corruption, Article 2, Paragraph 2. Okay. Background when talking about corruption in the society has known and has become a topic of conversation. In other words, the corruption is actually well known and very close in our daily life. Thus, it raises new concern because the term corruption is so popular. It has the potential to see the meaning of corruption in self. Such condition may place that corruption, which shall be classified as a serious crime and must be condemned, can shift into something that seems normal. If this happens, it will be increasingly difficult to eradicate corruption because society can be lead to permissiveness and apathy in responding to the phenomenon of corruption. Next, continue with the background. Increasing frequency of the death penalty in Indonesia is actually more uh, dominant by the distribution and trafficking of illegal drugs. In an impartial record for the period 1999 until 2008, narcotic and psychotropic cases were cases with quite a number of death sentences, namely 68 cases followed by 32 cases of murder offense. The difficulty in overcoming corruption can be seen from the many acquittal of the accused in corruption case or the minimum amount of punishment the defendant has brought. There are several that make this happen, at least because the actors who commit corruption crime are people who have allowed money and external network. So that when they get caught up in the law, they will use their money and power to afford or buy the law. Research method, the legal methodology used is normative juridical. The approach method used is the stated approach and the comparative approach. Type and sources of legal material used and primary legal material, which is legislation and secondary legal material library in the field of law and scientific and article from both newspaper and the internet. Technique collection of legal material used is literature study and access internet. Uh, Next, legal material analysis technique is used the content method analysis and conceptual definite use are the corruption crime and the death penalty and the attempt to reconstruct Article 2, Paragraph 2 of Law Number 31, year 1999 concerning corruption eradication. Reset ratio first is as an effort to tackle the crime of corruption as an extraordinary crime. Legislator formulate several important things which are considered to be used as tool the answer and bring a deterrent effect to the perpetrator, namely the principle of reversal of fruit and savory sanction, including capital punishment. The policy for the formulation uh, of article relating to the these two matter is centrally based on talk and is motivated by the desire to eradicate the criminal act of corruption. However, this formulation policy is not followed by an application policy. Second, uh, Article 2, Paragraph 1 and 2 of the Corruption Eradication Law, which regulated that a perpetrator can be convicted of that, in fact, has never been applied because central conditions are not fulfilled by corruptor. This indicates that apart from repetitive of criminal act, the imposition of capital punishment against corruption can only be done if the state in an extraordinary situation. Namely, the state is in a state of danger and according to the applicable law. The third one is, although legally the application of the death penalty has been regulated in sign 1999, in practice until now, no corruptor has been sentenced to death. Indonesia shall be able to reflect on China in enforcing the law against corruption. In China, and there is no mercy for corruptor. Even Cheng Qiji, deputy chairman of the Chinese parliament, was sentenced to death. Yu Rongji, the prime minister of China, a few years ago said, prepare thousands of coffin for corruptor, but also prepare a coffin for me. If I am also corrupt, I'm ready ready to set up to that Yu Rongji for a soul inspired Indonesia leader to be him in eradicating corruption indiscriminately. Unless for my research result, based on this reality, the question then arises is it still relevant to formulate the death penalty in future corruption crime? This is based on the discourse of the need to revisit the corruption eradication law because it still has weaknesses among there is no provision that regulate sexual gratification and reverse or provision that law enforced almost never used. In addition, capital punishment is still maintained in the draft criminal code with certain circumstances and is always 13 with alternative. And then conclusion, for the conclusion, I can say with 3 points first. Article 2, Paragraph 2 of the Corruption Eradication Law, which regulate that corruption can be set to that has never been implemented. Second, imposing the death penalty against corruptor can only be done if the country is in extraordinary situation, that is, the country is in a state of danger in accordance with the applicable law, there is a national natural disaster, or when the country is in a state of economic and monetary crisis, and any usual condition, the parameter of which require a long debate. And last, the revision of the corruption eradication law, because it still has weaknesses. Among other, there is no provision that regulates sexual gratification, and reverse provision that law enforces almost never use. In addition, capital punishment is still minded in the draft criminal code with a certain circumstances, and is always treated with alternative. Okay. Okay, I think that's all. If you have further a question, please ask. Thank you so much for your attention.